I'll need to look some of those up because it would be nice to get my knee up like it's bearing so much weight on it. I didn't even think about that. Yeah. But it would make sense.
Fox, and I serve on your board of directors. Welcome to all who are gathered here on site and everybody joining us online. Good morning, online people. Whether this is your first time here or you've joined us years ago, we are delighted that you're here. We're proudly a multi-generational congregation. All ages are welcome all the time, so if we hear some sounds from the young ones or from some of the older ones, enjoy them as part of our growing and vital community. Now, if you're a newcomer, the best way to get more information is to sign our virtual guest book, either by scanning the QR code that's in your bulletin or visiting the welcome table that's out in the fireside room. Online folks, please plan to join our Zoom coffee hour after the service. You'll get a link in the chat as soon as the service comes to a close. Now, for those on site, we'll have more conversation after the service, and be sure to come back next week before full service, 9:30 to 10:30. To enjoy coffee and treats. And now for our big page of announcements. After service today, the UUFA Social Justice Circle is offering a Get Out the Vote postcard writing table to encourage environmentally minded voters in New York's June primary election. Please stop by to help with a proven method of increasing climate awareness and voter turnout. The fellowship office will be closed May 11th through May 15th, while Bradley is on a vacation. We're finally giving the man a vacation. If you know you'll need something, please stop by this week. The earlier, the better. Our summer schedule will start on Memorial Day weekend, which is May 24th. Fellowship Voices will keep their usual rehearsal time, but will bid a temporary adieu to First Fellowship, and on-site coffee fellowship will be from 10 to 10:30, followed by full service. That's starting May 24th. And finally, yes, it is road improvement season. In addition to the signals on either end of the Highland construction zone, you'll probably already notice there are signals at the exits of our parking lots. During the week and at smaller gatherings, these additional signals will guide you on which direction the traffic is moving and when you can enter the road. On Sunday mornings, particularly if there's a line forming behind you, we encourage drivers to turn in the direction the signal arrow is already pointing, rather than waiting for the direction that you want to go. Ames is small and easy to navigate, so we really hope you won't mind just taking a little detour so we can keep the traffic flowing as quickly as possible. We hope this will prevent dramatic traffic backup, and thanks for going with the flow. Thanks for joining us today.
Our call to fellowship this morning are words of Grace Lee Boggs. When people come together voluntarily to create their own vision, they begin wishing it to come into being with such passion that they begin creating an active path leading to it from the present. The Spirit and the way to make the Spirit live coalesce. Instead of seeing ourselves only as victims, we begin to see ourselves as part of the continuing struggle of human beings, not only to survive, but to evolve into more human beings. Come, let us gather in fellowship. And together, let's light our chalice here in Fellowship Hall, and also for those of you who are at home, if you have a chalice near you, by saying these words of Beth Winnicky. May this flame, symbol of transformation since time began, fire our curiosity, strengthen our wills, and sustain our courage as we seek what is good within and around us.
Now, please rise in whatever capacity you are able and join us in singing "The Morning Has Broken." Well, it is a joy to take the time that we would have for Time for All Ages to welcome new members to this congregation. It feels especially important that we share this with our young ones and with all of us, that we recognize our new members. And so I invite these new members to come and stand up in the front as we say these words of welcome. And Robin and Amanda, if you'll join me up here. I'll mention that these 6 who are here, plus young ones, we look forward to having, there are a few people who are not here today. They've already signed the book, but we have a membership class of 8 folks, and these folks are able to be here this morning. All right, that's enough from me. As we welcome new members into the fellowship, let's begin with these words from the Reverend Dr. William Schultz, the former president of the Unitarian Universalist Association.
This is the mission of our faith, to teach the fragile art of hospitality, to revere both the critical mind and the generous heart, to prove that diversity need not mean divisiveness, and to witness to all that we must hold the whole world in our hands.
And as board chair, I want to be part of the congregation joyfully welcoming you into our congregation and gratefully acknowledge your choice to become members. May you find among us fellowship and help in time of need. We pledge our support and encouragement as you join us in the search for truth and meaning.
New members, you'll read for us.
Aware of the privileges and responsibilities of membership, we bring our talents and our enthusiasm, our shortcomings and our doubts, our gifts and our hopes. We freely join the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Aims, ready to bring new energy, vision, and joy.
And all of us together. As we were once new here, and remember how people welcomed us into community, we offer you our hearty welcome. We are eager to learn with you and from you as we live into our shared values. Together, may we continue growing spiritually, creating community, striving for justice, and learning to love. Please join me in welcoming these new members. So as we continue with our offertory, our new members are going to be signing the membership book. And afterwards, if you want to look back and find your name in the book, people have enjoyed doing that. And if you've not yet signed the book and want to be included as a member of this fellowship, we have more opportunities this year coming up. So Amanda McIntosh, our membership coordinator, is the person to talk to about when will be our next pathway to membership in the fall and New Member Sunday. There's always time to join the fellowship. This morning, we're going to give and receive our offering every week when we take our collection here. Half of it stays in the fellowship to contribute to our programs and our work in the world. And the other half of the non-pledge offering goes out into the community to to be with organizations that we support. This month and all of May, we are contributing to the Iowa chapter of the National Alliance of Mental Illness, NAMI. NAMI is a grassroots, and it's Mental Health Awareness Month. NAMI is a grassroots organization dedicated to building better lives for people who are struggling with mental illness. They have educational programs and service referral. They work to shape public policy. NAMI at the state level and the national level does amazing work, and it is an honor to partner with them. So you can always give online, or we're going to pass the baskets here in Fellowship Hall. And thank you very much for your generosity. Know that if you're a visitor today, your presence is gift enough. The world feels too much for our hearts to hold, and also our hearts are full to bursting in the good ways and the challenging ways. And one of the most important things we do when we come here is share our stories and name what is both lifting us up and breaking our hearts, breaking them open. The biggest celebration that we have here at the fellowship is to celebrate our Director of Religious Education, Dana Poss, who last week, received her credential of religious educator at the advanced level. Just right there. Receive the love. I want you to receive the love. Dana has been working for months, years maybe, on this process, 2 years on this process. She created, how many pages was your portfolio?
About 300.
A 300-page portfolio. She had classes, she had mentoring groups, she passed an extensive oral experience exam leading worship and meeting with other religious educators. And we are enormously proud not only of your work, Dana, but your dedication to Unitarian Universalism, to our congregation, and especially to our young ones. The vitality of this congregation rests so much in what you bring to us, and we are delighted to celebrate you. After this service, the earlier folks didn't get it. But after this service, we're going to have cake for Dana. At her request, marble cake with cream cheese icing. So stick around and celebrate you. Thank you, Dana. Thank you. There are several things to talk about today. This time of year, we're celebrating May Day, International Workers' Day, which marks the 140th anniversary of the Haymarket incident, when workers in Chicago went on strike for an 8-hour workday. And so if you have had in your life, or still have, an 8-hour workday, if that's what your contract says, you have those early union folks to thank for that. And we celebrate Beltane, this time of year that's the midpoint between the spring equinox and the summer solstice, and we honor fertility and growth, and we cast good wishes for protection of the crops and the livestock. We want to lift up that one of our new members, Becky Rorda, who's not here today, had successful surgery this past week, and we send good thoughts to Becky and her partner Dave. We want to name that Stephanie Fox's husband, Earl Fox, died about a week ago after a very long illness. Stephanie, our thoughts are with you as you navigate this time of transition. Know that this first Sunday, as we do on the first Sunday of each month at 11:45, or whenever you get your cake and get downstairs, we'll have the service of silent witness, where you can come and bring the particular things that you're holding into a smaller, more intimate circle and name those aloud. Because this feels like part of joys and sorrows, I'm going to put it here. Some of us know that the Voting Rights Act was passed in part because of the national outrage at the lynching in Selma of a Unitarian Universalist minister named James Reeb. And also another UU, Viola Liuzzo, also died at that time in the march. We remember them, along with Jimmy Lee Jackson, Jonathan Daniels, and so many others who lost their lives or who suffered physical or other kinds of injuries because of their commitment to democracy and to voting rights. Our Unitarian Universalist values today speak of the inclusiveness of the democratic processes, and we are broken-hearted at the decision of the Supreme Court this week to gut the most important parts of the Voting Rights Act. The Voting Rights Act was the most effective and important tool that we have to ensure that democracy is included. And so we have work to do. We have work to do as Unitarian Universalists to labor to create the society of our ideals. In the short term, to repair the damage, and labor over decades and centuries to create a new society of justice. We take time in our service to be quiet together, and into that quiet to lift up the names of individuals or groups that we are holding with particular tender care today. Katie. LGBTQIA folks. The people of Palestine, Lebanon, and Iran. For all that is spoken and unspoken, we practice this exercise of opening our hearts to expand our empathy and compassion, knowing that it is dangerous to try to hold it alone. We practice this opening here in community where it's safe to do so. Let's sing "Comfort Me" together.
Our reading this morning is Table Blessing by Victoria Safford. At my house at supper, we perform the most unholy and untidy little liturgy that you can imagine. But usually, I think it works. Other families I know conduct their affairs with more elegance and style, but elegance is not our strength. At our house, the table grace we do does not look like religion. It looks like a hungry, tattered family at the end of a tattered day, sometimes at its end of its rope. We scramble to find the matches, to clear and set the table, to dislodge the cats and scrape our chairs into place. We clatter in, then get up again to wash somebody's hands, and then finally sit down. We light the candles, reach for each other's hands, close our eyes, and sit in silence for as long as the youngest among us can stand it, which is generally up to as high as she can count. Then on most nights, we sing something. Dona nobis pacem, Jubilate Deo, Shalom, the Mozart Alleluia, Old 100th, Over the River and Through the Woods, the wheels on the bus go round and round, taps. We try to be serious, but really it does not matter what we sing. We are in a self-imposed time out. The smell of the food becomes real. The sound of our breath and the feel of our damp hands, still sticky, these are real. We are together, our circle invincible in this one holy moment. And each of us is utterly alone in the dark solitude behind closed eyes. We are home. We have food. We recall that many don't, and sometimes someone says this is a blessing. And where we have been in a day and where we may go that night or tomorrow fades away for a time. And we are infused, and time is infused, and something wells up. Something like gratitude wells up, overflowing, nigh unto overwhelming. The whole thing lasts from candle to song about 2 minutes, but the echo, the wake of it lasts longer. We are trying, all of us, in all our houses, to be aware. We are trying to be quiet. We are trying to slow down. We are trying to remember our true and real life. We are trying to touch that, to call it up, trying to know we are alive, hoping to mold that knowing into good work, hopeful, brave, and helpful later on. We are trying to remember what we love and what we do and how to be ourselves, our gifts.
Maybe you know this old joke. Two Unitarian Universalists are walking together along a path. On the one side of the path is a major university. On the other side of the road is a lake surrounded by forests and mountains. And they're walking along, enjoying the day, and they come to a fork in the path, and one side points to the lake, and it says, "This way to heaven." And the other side points up the hill to the university and says, "This way to discussion about heaven." I've reached that fork at least twice in my ministerial life. Once Mike and I were leading a week of programming up at Camp Unistar in northern Minnesota. We were talking about science and religion. And each day on our way to the presentation, I thought, nobody's going to come. Over here was beautiful Cass Lake, just glistening in the morning sunshine. Heaven. And this way to discussion about heaven. I just thought it was the joke right there. But sure enough, the UUs there came to the morning discussion, and then heaven in the afternoon for sailing or fishing or whatever else they decided to do. The other time I really felt this was yesterday. I was in my office and I had my head down and I was trying to wrestle this sermon into some kind of shape. And I walked out into the glorious afternoon and I thought, heaven, what are you doing talking about it when you can be out here in it? And so I put the sermon down and decided to hang out in green space. So I want to say to you this morning that heaven is out there, right? We're going to talk about worship in here this morning, but if you really want to worship, there it is. out there. I won't be offended if you've got your eyes full of green. The purpose of my Churchy Words series has been to reclaim some of the words that belong to other communities of faith, but may not be comfortable for us. It's not just the words, but the concepts of spirituality and prayer, of faith and belief, and in God, and worship, and coming in June, grace and salvation. These words are in the common parlance in Iowa in 2026. And I think, shouldn't we be conversant, even fluent, with this language and the ideas they represent? Sometimes I myself feel allergic to these words. I make assumptions about how other people use them, and I feel allergic to them. Some of us have real spiritual wounds from the churches of our upbringings, and we may want to join here and have coffee hour with people and volunteer and do the things, but we really don't want to talk about worship or God or belief. So my goal really is to help us be more fluent with these words. Now, before I start, I was actually asked to include worship in the Churchy Words series. And I want to just hear you sort of say out loud, do you have problems with the word worship? If you've got a problem with the word worship, would you just shout it out? What's your problem? Anybody got a, yeah.
A God conceited enough to need it.
Oh, say it again.
A God conceited enough to need it.
A God conceited enough to need it. Just go right there. That's excellent. Yeah. Blind obedience. A worship to blind obedience, right? Yeah.
It sets up a power dynamic where my whole feeling from the church of my youth was to find the divinity within me and be empowered.
Okay, so it sets up a power dynamic. And does that mean then it's hard to find the divinity in you if divinity is always up there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mostly because you're told since it's up there, it's not in here.
If it's up there, it's not in here. Yeah.
Just restrictions, other people telling me how to worship.
Other people telling us how to worship, right? There's the restriction, you do it this way. This is the way that you do it. Yeah.
I just ignore it.
You just ignore it. If other people are worshiping, that's their business, but we're doing something different. Right.
The word idolatry comes to my mind.
Ah, yes, the word idolatry. Yes, thank you.
I can worship out there, the green, but some unknown, unseen, undescribable thing up there is, I can't.
And worship something, the outside, the green, nature,
Yeah.
right? But not kind of an amorphous idea. I refer you back to my God sermon, the 1st of April, and carols maybe at the end of April. Yeah. Folks, let's see, we'll get another one from Amy.
Well, I'm not allowed to attribute this to the person that's seated next to me, but I will say that it was noted that worship sounded awfully close to warship.
Oh, the wisdom of the young ones. Worship sounds awfully close to warship. Excellent, yeah. Did you have one in the back? No, that was just a scratch of the, here. Folks online, if you have any of these that you want to put in the chat, we'd be glad to see those as well. Maybe we'll get those in. I started out, as I always do, wanting to take the word apart, the concept apart, and find out what we mean by it. I know what I learned in seminary, but I don't think that was what everybody learned. So the Hebrew and the Greek words that refer to what we think of as worship, bowing down, being prostrate to, submitting to, those words in both the Hebrew and the Greek have to do with bondage. They have to do with obedience, to do reverence, to bow down, to be prostrate, to crouch, to fall down, to be humble. In the New Testament, the Greek is proskuneo, and it's to pay homage, and the image that goes with it is a dog kissing its master's hand, right? You can see a dog licking your hand. You are the all-knowing, the all-being. Cats don't do that. We worship them. We worship cats. They don't worship us, but that's a different story altogether. The way I learned this was from my teacher, the Reverend Dr. Kendall Gibbons, who just recently retired from her ministry at All Souls in Kansas City. And she took the Old English word worth scrippa, which meant to shape what is of worth. Worth shaping. And I thought, okay, that I can go with. The bowing down, the submitting, the being in the presence of a deity that needs to be worshiped, the idolatry, the sense that good is all there and not here. That submission didn't ring true to how I understand myself as a human being in the world, and I see good in you and all the human beings in the world. But what do we mean when we come together to shape what is of worth? And so that's the way that I want to talk about worship today. And then, if we're shaping what is of worth, what does it call us to submit to? Are we without any need to submit at all? Where does humility live within us in this tradition that we use? So I think there are lots of things that can be worshiped, right? And that word idolatry comes up. There's lots of kinds of modern idolatry. Worldly pursuits where we give our time and our devotion and our life, money and stuff and wealth. Lord, don't we live in a society that worships money and stuff and wealth? Obsessive pursuit of luxury and consumerist items. That's not to say that you shouldn't have a good car that you can drive and that you can have comfort and we need a phone to operate in the world. I think for me, the balance comes when it's over-consumption versus what we need to live, and that's a spectrum for a lot of people. We can worship technology. We can worship celebrity and fame and images and ideology and politics. If you have unquestioning dedication to a political party, a social cause, if I have unquestioning dedication to my political party, that is idolatrous. We need to always be asking and questioning. We can idolize comfort and leisure and relationships and families and sports teams. It doesn't mean if we idolize something that it's always a negative idolatry. But these are things in our lives and that we submit ourselves to. If we submit ourselves to the needs of our families, that doesn't mean that that's bad, but it does need to be in balance with other things, right? We submit ourselves to the work that we do. Whether we want to or not, we've made an agreement, we've signed a contract, we agree to do the work and they'll give us money for it, right? We hope we love it. We submit all the time. We submit to our traffic laws, right? You submit to what it means to be in community together. You do submit to the traffic laws, don't you? We're all going to submit to the arrow as we leave our parking lot. We submit in lots of ways. It's not to say we worship the traffic laws, but we submit ourselves. So what does it mean when we come here and shape what is of value? We talk a lot about the values that we share: justice, equity, transformation, pluralism, interdependence, generosity, with love at the center. Those are demanding. Those values, to live into equity as a principle of my life, and justice and transformation, to lift those up, to see you transforming and allow you space to do that. Those are demanding principles, and love at the center. What does it call us to and call us to do? How do we submit to that love at the center? I think we do it in lots of ways here. We do it through volunteer work, service on our board, or service to the building or the grounds, to our religious education program, teaching other people, to serving treats and cleaning up. Somebody has to say, I'll take my time and volunteer and do that thing so the community can be together. May not be the way you want to spend your Saturday, weeding in the church parking lot because you need to do that at home. It may not be the way you want to spend your Sunday, washing dishes, but you do that. Isaac, you do that. Will, you do that. Yes, thank you. So that we can be together and shape together a community that lifts up these values. I don't know that worship, the way we think about it, is idolatrous or lack of freedom or power dynamic. If worship used in that way is the most effective word for us. I started this thinking, yes, we need to have the word worship. It makes a lot of shorthand. It's easier for a lot of things. I served a congregation that only talked about, they wouldn't go to worship service, they went to assembly. And so, we were thinking about, what do you call the people who assist? Assembly associates? That sounds like they work at IKEA, right? Service associates, that's what you do when you work at a store at the mall, right? You're a service associate, worship associate. You know what it means that you assist. We call our folks facilitators, service facilitators, and you do that. You do that. Facilitate the being together. We submit we shape what is of worth through our generosity of time and talent and treasure. That there is something of worth here that we invest in. We say it is worth it to spend our time on Sunday morning or Tuesday evening or Friday noon, or whatever is the time that your group meets, to come and be a part of this thing that is by definition larger than ourselves. By definition, it is a power greater than ourselves. And to be a part of that in a world that is so isolated, so fractured, feels of infinite worth to me to be a part of this. So as you encounter that word, someone else is doing worship, and I want to make up in my mind what they're doing and what they mean by it. It's peace shaping, not war shaping. It's generosity shaping, not scarcity shaping. It is justice shaping, not greed shaping. It is love shaping, not just individual shaping. When we are shaped together in community, we are shaped individually. It ought to work on us, right? We ought to leave changed and encouraged. Even in a world that is broken and hurting, we ought to leave, I hope we leave, changed and encouraged and ready to say, what's my next part in this shaping, either here in this community or out in the world, right? What do we need to shape and to grow? Where is this worship, this shaping, this communal shaping calling us to grow next? I love that story of the simple table blessing. They get together and the food is ready and let's get on with it. I've been in meetings today and I got another phone call tonight, and that notion that we pause and we breathe together, we stop and we say, this is real. The noise in the room and the wiggles in the room and the questions and the faces and the music and the breathing, all of it is real. And all of the rest of it falls away while we come together to build this next thing ever so slowly, ever so tenderly. While we wait for that, while we wait in that precious pregnant moment before we tumble headlong into the meal and the talk of our day and all of that. I love this quote from the Sikh writer and activist Valerie Kaur. She says, love is more than a feeling. Love is a form of sweet labor, fierce, bloody, imperfect, and life-giving, a choice we have to make over and over and over again. If love is sweet labor, love can be taught, modeled, and practiced. This labor engages all our emotions. Joy is the gift of love. Grief is the price of love. Anger protects that which is loved. And when we think we've reached our limit, wonder is the act that returns us to love, to help us be more human beings, as we heard before. So I ask you, as you go out from this worship service, what do you submit yourself to? To what do you submit yourself? Where is Spirit calling you to grow? And where is Spirit calling you to rest? We'll be done here in a moment. We're going to sing There Is More Love, this song that comes from the Gullah people of South Carolina, from an experience of slavery and revitalized again during the civil rights movement. It's calling to us to something beyond ourselves. There is more love and more hope and more peace and more joy somewhere. We shape together that somewhere. Blessed be and amen.
All right. Well, with that said, please join me in singing There Is More Love Somewhere. Please rise as you are able and willing.
There is more
close our service by extinguishing the chalice. Let's extinguish all of our chalices here and those with our friends online by saying together these words. We
extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
As always, we close with gratitude for all the folks who helped make this morning possible. Amber and Madison, our musicians today, thank you so much, as always. For our tech team, Deborah and Mary and Titus, they won't give you a chair back there? Yeah. Well, thank you for doing the standing duty. For our facilitators, Sarah and Ben. For Amanda McIntosh, our director, our coordinator for membership and communications, for all you did for our new members to help them be a part of this. To Dana Poss for all she does for our religious educators. Don't forget that cake that's coming up. Gratitude for our treat bringers and coffee makers and cleanup crew. We're so grateful for all that you do. And for the people online who join us, we know you're a part of our larger community. We are trying to remember our true and real life. We're trying to touch that, to call it up, trying to know we are alive, hoping to mold that knowing into good work, hopeful, brave, and more hopeful, helpful later on. We're trying to remember what we love and what to do and how to be ourselves, our good gifts to the world. Blessed be, and go in peace.